Hello, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. I've been off for a while, haven't I? So I've not had the time to send you your 5-point update. This is your 5-point update of the 5 things I need you to know about that you can read or research or ask me questions about so that you can get this driving test and this pass and be gone in the nicest possible way. Be gone. And all of today's content is about changes that will affect you if you're working with me. It's about changes that will affect you if you're off out on your own trying to get a driving test and what have you. Maybe you don't work with me. Maybe you've just fallen onto this channel. And if you have, you're very welcome to be here. So the information might be helpful, and I'd encourage you to go and ask the person who's preparing you more about this subject. 5 things this week then. Driving test booking changes, what it means for you, what it means for me. The 6th April is a new tax year for me. It might be a new tax year for you. It might be when your holidays restart at work. It's always quite a big thing in business, the new tax year. So there's some changes that are going to come off the back of that with the way that we work. An option about, or a couple of options actually, about payment. I want to see if there's any demand or any desire for me to change the number of ways in which you can pay for your sessions. And then my schedule and you getting enough lessons to see you through to your test, or any changes, any cancellations and so on. I'm reading from the iPad because I don't want to get this wrong. And so 5 things then. So we'll talk about the then and we'll talk about the future. So, or the now. We'll talk about the now and talk about the future. So currently and up to the 12th of May, I can book your test for you. So let's say the 11th of May is a cut-off. I can book your test for you. I'd encourage you to let me do that. The reason is I can make sure I'm free. I can make sure my car's free. I can make sure I'm not on another test. I can make sure I'm not on holiday, having an MOT, or all these other things that might stop me helping you. But the most common one is 2 people want me to be in 2 different places at the same time. Impossible. I can't be done. So it's helpful if you let me book your test. It's helpful because I can get a test quicker than you can currently, and I can switch tests really quite simply currently. That's all going to change, and not for the better. So let me help you do that. You can help by getting that theory passed. Get it done. It's holding you back, and in the end it's just going to make things more complicated. So as we speak today until the 11th of May, I can book your test for you. Wonderful. From the 31st of March, whether you've booked it or whether I've booked it, you get 2 switches, 2 date and time changes, 2 location changes. That's all you get. Talk about the historic. You used to get 10. If you phoned them up, can I move a test please? I've got Veruca. Can I move a test please? I broke my ankle playing cricket, so I can't drive for 6 weeks. Those kind of things. My instructor's gone on holiday, whatever. You could change it 10 times before they went, no more changes, sorry, have your money back because you're not changing it no more. That used to be a thing. You could change it online 6 times. I could change it online 6 times. That used to be a thing. From 31st March, 2 changes only. 2. So we've got to make sure we get the right date in the future and that we don't get too ambitious. And I love ambition, but don't get too ambitious. Book a date that's too near. Then we've got to move it, and then you've squandered 1 change. So 2 changes only, and the only exception to that rule is that the DVSA changed it. So let's make a fictitious example. Currently you can move it 6 times online, right? So let's say we've moved your test 4 times, right? And then the 31st of March comes around, ding, you go back to 0 changes. You've now got 2 free changes, 2 get out of jail free cards. So everybody goes back to 2 on the 31st of March. If the DVSA move it, examiner's ill, test centre's closed, rain, weather's going to be a big one, then that doesn't count against you. So you don't lose one of your lives. Think of it that way. If you've moved it twice, if I've moved it twice, let's say that was because to the 11th of May I can move it. So if we've moved it twice, we don't get a 3rd. Unless it's the DVSA moving it for their purposes. So let's not waste our 2 lives by being too ambitious or running off and booking a test without even consulting me if you want my help, and then I'm busy with another test and another test centre and I can't help you, and then we waste one, don't we? by moving it. So let's not do that. So 2 changes from 31st of March. What else do they say so that I make sure I've not missed nothing? So them changing it doesn't count against you. Good. If you were to call up and change your status of your test, so, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you I've got additional needs. Oh, I forgot to tell you I've got disability. I forgot to tell you I've moved address. All those things, they could be a reason why you change, right? They don't go against your 2 strikes. So they're allowed, put it that way. So that's 31st March. 31st March, 2 changes only going forward. If you've had 5 up to the 30th of March as one example, that's okay. Goes back to 2. 12th of May, that's a biggie. This is a biggie. 12th of May, going forward, you and only you can book a test for you. It becomes illegal for anybody but you to book your test. So if you're watching this and somebody tells you some shady stuff further down the track, oh, I can get you a test and all that, I'd be really careful, because they're not allowed to do it. I doubt they can truly do it. And if you pay money for this service, you're probably going to get rinsed. So buyer beware, right? So from the 12th of May, only you can book your test. You can go online, you can phone up, but only you can do it. You'll have to pay for it. So currently I pay for it in my business, and then I ask you to pay me back. That's going to be a thing. So you need to have a card, some means of payment, credit card, debit card, whatever. And again, still only move it twice. So only you can book it. And from the 12th of May, only you can move it. Only you can swap it. And a swap could be a change of test centre, a change of time at the same test centre on the same day, the same test centre but the day after. All of these things, firstly, they're going to use one of your changes up. But secondly, you and only you can do it. So truly, truly be careful, please, about booking tests without asking me if you want the help, right? Because if you really enthusiastically, let's make an example, on the 12th of May, you go online and book a test, and you could do that. And then you go, oh, guess what? I got a test and I've been brilliant, wonderful. And you go, yeah, it's at Loughborough at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, right, okay. Well, I'm meant to be in Cannock Street at 9:57. So how am I going to be in 2 places at once? Now we're back to, oh God, you're going to have to use a change, if you'd like my help, or go and have to find someone else to help you. And we don't want to go down that sort of road. We really don't. So you and only you can book it from the 12th of May. You and only you can swap it from the 12th of May. And then the other change that's coming, as if that's not making it hard enough, from the 9th of June, you can only move it to the 3 closest test centres based on where it's booked already. So currently, you can book a test in, say, Nottingham, right? But then you move university and you go to London. Yeah, that could happen, couldn't it? Or you go back home for like the holidays, whatever. So now you're back at home and you want to take your test in London, right? I can see why you do that. But when you call the DVSA to change it, they're going to go, nope, it's not geographically the 3 nearest. There's a list of the 3 nearest. You can look it up if you want. I'm going to send it out for the Leicester test centres as a separate communication. So it will say Cannock Street, these are the 3, Melton, these are the 3, and. So they're going to tell you which 3 you can only move it to from 9th June. Now, if you wanted to move it, let's say it's the 10th of June, right? Let's say you want to move it from, I don't know, Glasgow to Newcastle, right? Because you've changed university. They will nearly certainly say no because it doesn't fit the rules, but they will give you back your money if you give them the right amount of notice. So cancellations always have to be, from their perspective, 10 working days. This is where it gets sticky. Treat it like it's 13. Use the 13 in your brain as a number and you won't go wrong. What I mean when I say that is, realistically, in your mind, you could say, today's the 1st of April. I've got a test on the 10th of April, possible. Oh, I can't make it. We need to switch it, whatever. You call them up and go, can I move my test? And then you go, yeah, you can, but we want some more money. Be like, well, what? I'm giving you 10 days notice. No, it's not, because they don't count the weekends or bank holidays. So if you use 13 days as a number, you won't fall foul of that system. On your driving test email that you got when you booked it, or you got when I booked it and I sent it to you, there's a date, cancelled by date, on the bottom. So you should never really get tripped up by that, but it's a thing. So that is driving test changes and how it's just going to really make everyone's life really difficult, in my view. The likes of me can't book tests for you from the 12th of May. It's going to be a nuisance. What's going to be affected? fast pass type things. You know that do a week of lessons and pass your test at the end? I can't see how they're going to book a test because they can't do it for you and only you can do it. How would you book? I just can't see how it's going to work. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. I think they're probably going to look at it and go, yeah, we made a mistake here and change it. But it is what it is and we can't change it. So that's that. 6th of April, new tax year. In my world, self-employed, and business world anyway, but in my world, I have to do something different with income tax. So I need a brand new account that's got nothing in it, like my gym membership or a Netflix or something, because only my true business expenses can go through the bank and off to the tax man or whatever. So there'll be a new bank account on the 6th of April onwards. If you're paying me from the 6th of April onwards, new bank account. What that means is the invoices currently have my banking details on. That will change. Any communication you get from me, this is your lesson, it's booked for this day, it's booked for this time, terms and conditions, and at the bottom, this is the bank account. The confirmation emails you get, they come through Outlook, Google Calendar. They fire off to you 3 days before and a week before. They'll have the new banking details in there. So I'll remind you nearer the time, so don't stress. The worst that will happen is you'll try to pay me in my my business bank as it sits today on the 6th of April. The money will bounce straight back to you. I won't have had it. You'll say you've paid me. I'll say, I'm sorry, where's the money now? And you go, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry, and I'll pay you. And it'll be fine. So don't get too stressed. But my bank account is going to change. So I'll send you the details. It will be on confirmations. And then payment options go. I'm toying with the idea of changing the way that people can pay me to see if it makes their life easier. Because some people can't do a bank transfer till mum gets in or dad gets in, or your Uncle George is going to wire you the money and then you send it to me or whatever. So there's 2 things I'm going to experiment with if you want me to. One is PayPal. So if you want to pay me by PayPal and want to try it and see if it works, let's do that. But it has to be pay as a friend. And the reason for that is PayPal will take a cut otherwise. So you'll send me £1, but they'll take 20p. And that won't work for my business. So as an option to help you, if you want to pay by PayPal, pay as a friend, you ping it over and I'll still send you a receipt in the normal way. It just gives you an option. It may be you're paying for your own lessons or whatever it is, right? So if that's something that interests you, let me know. Because I'm changing banks, they always ring you up. Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? So one of the things they've offered me are card machines. Do you want them to pay you on a card machine? And up till now I've said no, because again, my business is a business. It's how I pay my bills and my kids go to college and university. All the rest of it. Truly, it's how you make your living, isn't it? Your job pays for everything you do. So the last thing I want to do is get card readers, right? And then you send me your 80 quid, right? Great, thank you for sending me the money. And the bank go, oh, we want a fiver for that, or whatever the number is. So they'll take off the top for the privilege of me using their card reader, so I don't get the money that I'm charging. And you only got to do that 4 times a day, 5 times a week, 48 weeks a year, and it gets really expensive. So I have stayed away from card readers. So the way I might do card reading is, if there's a demand for it, then I'll look into it. So they'll tell me if paying by card in the car is a thing that interests you. And then I'll work out what the charges are, and then I'll say to you in all honesty, look, using a lesson. The lesson's 80 quid. The bank's going to charge me £1. I don't know what they're going to charge me. It might be £1. It might be 50p. I don't know. So the bank's going to charge me 50p. Let's say it's 50p. If you want to pay £80 and 50p, great. We'll do it by a card. If you can't, and you don't have to, then we're going to have to stay with either the PayPal or the bank transfer. Yeah. So I'm just trying to see if there's something I've got that I can change that makes your life easy. Because I'm always trying to make things easy, better. And one of the things you hear me say in cars, always make your life easy. Never give yourself difficulty. So if that's interest you, let me know. And then my schedule now changes to what we'll call the summer schedule, right? So I do evenings. I do 3 or 4 evenings a week. I tend to do a bit more with weekends. What that means is, if you look far forward enough and plan, you may get evening lessons where you couldn't get any October till March, because I tend not to do many. So if evening lessons interest you, really look at the schedule and get far ahead, plan far ahead, and maybe you can get some evenings, because the light's going to be, what's it now? Daylight saving time today, isn't it? So it's not dark till about 7 odd now. So that you won't have a lesson in the dark if you have a 5 till 7 currently. That's part of the reason why I make it go away in October, because some people don't want to drive in the dark. So if that's something that interests you, let me know. My schedule's going to get sent. It's 1 year ahead. It's always 1 year ahead. Use it. Plan well past any test you have already, any date you think you're going to take one, remembering that currently it's a 20 odd week wait, 24 weeks is more like it. So what we now? March? April? So tests are going to be give or take September stroke October for the next few weeks, because of how far away they've just always been. They've been this way for 6 years. So please plan your lessons way, way into the future, past any test date. I encourage you to do this. Plan till this year end, December 31st. If you don't need them, I promise you won't do them. No one ever does lessons with me they don't need. And then you can give them up, vacate them, swap them, whatever. If your test gets moved, if you become unwell and your test moves, whatever. If you're not ready and your test moves, we've got options, because you've got dates, which you won't have if you only plan to the half year or to the test date. Make sense? So, driving test booking changes, really important. If you don't understand it, let me know. I'll send you an email version or the DVSA's little YouTube video. Bank accounts changing, I'll tell you when. It will be kind of seamless, I hope. You have the option of paying PayPal, Pay as Friend. If that interests you, tell me. A card payment something interests you, tell me, and I'll look into it and find out what the costs are. And then book your sessions way, way, way up to the end of the year. Thank you for letting me help you. I understand you had loads of choices, and I'm glad you're working with me. I will see you the next time we're in the car. Thank you.